What happens when someone who once spoke in front of the entire world suddenly decides they don't want to speak at all anymore? That's the question Amber Heard quietly raised at the 2026 Sundance Film Festival, where she made a rare appearance not to relive the past, not to defend herself, but to explain why she believes using her voice came at a cost she never expected. In the new documentary Silenced, Amber says this moment isn't about telling her story again. In fact, she openly admits she doesn't want to tell at all. She says she feels like she's lost her ability to speak, not because she has nothing left to say, but because of what happened after she already did. Coming from someone whose name once dominated headlines, courtrooms, and social media feeds, that statement alone stopped people in their tracks. Instead of returning with a comeback or a public apology, Amber chose something far quieter. Her appearance in Silenced isn't framed as a defense or a plea for sympathy. The documentary focuses on how defamation laws and public systems can be used against people who speak out, especially women, and Amber is just one voice among many. She even makes it clear that this isn't supposed to be about her at all. The film argues that the real damage often begins after legal cases end, when the spotlight fades but the consequences don't. Careers slow down, reputations harden, and speaking up starts to feel more dangerous than staying quiet. For Amber, Sundance wasn't about reclaiming the spotlight. It was about showing what silence looks like when it isn't chosen freely. To understand why her words carry so much weight, it's impossible to ignore the story that followed her for years. After her split from Johnny Depp in 2016, what began as a divorce quickly turned into one of the most public legal sagas Hollywood had ever seen. Lawsuits stretched across countries, appeals followed, and by the time the 2022 U.S. defamation trial began, the courtroom had already become a global stage. Both sides made serious accusations, both denied them, and every moment was clipped, shared, and debated in real time. When a verdict came, it didn't bring closure. It only shifted the conversation online. Even after a settlement was reached and the legal battle technically ended, the public fight never did. What followed may have been even louder than the trial itself. Testimony clips turned into memes. Facial expressions became punchlines. Commentary videos reached millions, then billions of views. Online, Amber wasn't just a person anymore. She became a symbol. Some reports claimed studios quietly distanced themselves, while others suggested her career stalled behind the scenes. Much of this remains unverified, driven by industry rumors and online speculation rather than confirmed statements. But what's clear is how quickly public opinion solidified. In the documentary, Amber recalls a moment during the UK trial when she considered speaking to the press. She believed backlash might help prove her point. What she didn't understand, she says, was how much worse it could get, especially as a woman using her voice in such a public way. Over time, something shifted. Today, Amber is a mother of 3, including young twins and her daughter, Anak. When she talks about the future now, her focus isn't on clearing her name. It's on the world her children will grow up in. She speaks about power imbalances, about who gets believed, and about who pays the price when they speak out. She says seeing other women continue to take on the fight gives her strength, even if she no longer wants to be the one doing it herself. It's not that she's given up. It's that her priorities have changed. That's where Silenced pulls back even further. The documentary doesn't center on one celebrity or one case. It follows multiple women across different countries and systems, all facing backlash after speaking out. The common thread isn't fame, it's consequence. The film suggests that powerful systems don't just push back when challenged. They discredit, isolate, and wear people down until silence feels safer than honesty. Amber's role in the documentary isn't meant to convince anyone of anything. It's meant to show the aftermath. What happens when the world hears everything and still decides who gets punished? Amber Heard isn't asking for sympathy, and she isn't asking to be believed again. She's leaving behind a much quieter, more uncomfortable question. What if silence isn't weakness? What if it's what happens when speaking costs too much? And if someone who once spoke to the entire world decides to stop, what does that say about the system that hurt her? That's the part no verdict ever answered.